Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now, I made a video yesterday, but when I went to edit it last night, I realized my camera was way too far away. So I'm going to remake these today. So this pair of earrings, and I do have a second one, but this pair of earrings is for 4th of July. And then this is just an everyday pair. And what I want to show you today is how I used resin molds, some UV resin, and some glitter to make this little black thing and then to make this whole earring. So on today's video, I'm going to remake this pair, and then instead of redoing this entire pair, I've already cut out some red cork fabric, and I'm going to make some blue glittery circles to go at the top of these. Now I'm also going to use some tools and some earring hardware, but on the video I really want to focus on the resin part. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And I think that I will start on the smaller piece, which will be this mold. Now this mold has 8 spots. It's a little circle, and then there's this little stem that comes up that makes it where you have a hole in your circle. Then the other mold, it's 2 pieces for each earring. The top has 3 stems so that you have a hole on each side and the very top, and the bottom has 2 stems where you have 2 holes there. Then you connect the 2 pieces with jump rings. So this first pair of earrings will be another 4th of July inspired pair. Again, we're going to pair it with this red cork fabric. And then I like to just use these little stir sticks, break them up so you get several uses out of them. All right, I am new to this. My first project was a little acrylic disc that I used this on the other day with glitter. Then I covered over the base of that with some rhinestones. And then my second project were the 2 earrings I showed you. So I'm still perfecting it. But this is a lot of fun. And it is so amazing how this works. I used to do some things with your good old-fashioned 2-part resin, and you would have to wait so long for that to cure. This is not that way. Okay, so I put a little bit in the bottom. I don't need much. I'm just going to do these little bitty discs right there. And then I'm going to put a decent amount of glitter in. Now you can also use mica powder. You can even use a combination of mica powder and glitter, but I want these to be really, really festive and glittery, so I'm just going to stick with glitter. All right, that's a good start. Let me put my hand under it. I want more glitter. So let's just add a little bit more in. All right, that looks better to me. Now, some people will use these little pipettes where they suck a little of this out and then they put it into their molds. On the limited number that I've done, I just kind of use this stick to help guide it. So the tricky part is getting it full enough, but not overfilling it. And then this will self-level. And you do want to give it, at least what I have found is you do want to give it a little bit of time to really level out. The other thing is if you have little details like those little stems, it may take a while for it to creep in behind there and get leveled out around that. All right, so this will stay very liquidy until you either put it outside or put it in your lamp. This is a UV resin lamp. Now this isn't necessary, but I like to put mine on something flat, kind of help keep it level. This lamp has a 10-second, a 30-second, a 60-second, and then a 99-second low heat mode. Now for these, I'm going to go with 60 seconds. I'll do that twice. Then I'll actually flip this over and do it from the back side for 30 seconds. Now with this UV resin, it's important that your molds are not opaque. So these aren't crystal clear, but maybe you can see a little bit of something through there. They're translucent. So when I flip this over, the light will actually penetrate this and cure the backside as well. Now 60 seconds is the last one that I use. So for this time, when I put it in there, it just started on its own. Seems like sometimes it does that and sometimes it doesn't. All right, let's do round number 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna touch that. That is hard, that's good. So I'll flip it over, and this time I'll just do 30 seconds. No, it wasn't ready. It was ready. Okay, so the really cool thing is these demold really easily. So you can see that breaking away easily from the silicone mold. The only reason it's not falling out is it's wedged in there around that little stem, but they're not sticking at all. All right, there's our first little pieces. Now this is the back side. And what I have found is typically the back side comes out smooth and flat and beautiful. And then the front side, until I get better at knowing exactly how much to put in where it domes up perfectly, it's okay, it's pretty. But I'm going to have the back side facing forward. I just think it has a better finished off look. All right, set those aside. So again, those are going to go with this red cork. Very cute for 4th of July. Okay, so our second pair of earrings, the top is the one with the 3 stems, the bottom is the one with 2 stems. And you could do these all at one time, but I'm going to do something a little bit different, so I'm going to do the bottoms first. Now, because I like the bottom side of these, I think it turns out better than the top side. First, I'm going to put just a little bit of clear resin in the bottoms. Now what I'm going to do after I put this under the UV light for a little bit is I'm going to add my glitter stars. So honestly, I just want this to be a pretty thin layer. Hopefully I didn't put too much in there. But I'll give this a few minutes just to kind of self-level, roll it around. I do see some air bubbles, so I'll either pop them with a toothpick or I think you can use a heat source. But I only see a couple, I'll just use a toothpick. And the other thing is I can kind of use this toothpick to drag some of that resin where I want it. All right, I'm gonna have to pull this over closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it doesn't take it out of the picture frame. All right, y'all, I have a stubborn bubble. So if you do this a lot, please tell me how to get rid of that bubble. Now with all the glitter in there, hopefully it's not gonna show. All right, so this first layer, I just wanna do it 30 seconds. And the reason I'm only doing it 30 seconds is I don't want it to fully cure, because once that comes out, I'm going to lay some of these down on it. Then I'm going to mix up some of this blue with resin and then do a second layer with that. And I'm hoping I didn't get this first layer too thick. All right, I just want to touch this. Okay, yes. So that is firm. And then I don't really want to totally randomly place these, but I don't want them to have an exact pattern either. So now I'm going to prepare a little bit of the resin with the blue glitter. All right, let's put that to the side because I just remembered I still had some from that pair of earrings. Okay. So I think if I turn these sideways, I'll be able to pour more easily. All right, I didn't have enough, so let's mix up some more. Trying to get to about the same amount of glitter in here. It'll be close enough. Now I see one of my stars floated. Hopefully these look okay. I did these opposite how I did them yesterday. Yesterday, I put the blue in the bottom, then I put the stars, then I put the clear on the top. So I'm just experimenting to see which works out better. Ooh, there's a lot more glitter in that. That's prettier. So I'm waiting for the blue to kind of fill up around in this corner. And there it goes. All right, let's put this in really quickly while it looks decent. And it may go for 30 seconds. I don't know. We'll put it in and see how long it goes. All right, we'll do 60 more. Now remember, I did that first layer, so I don't really think I need to do this a full 2 minutes. I don't know what happens if you overcook this. Do you know what happens if you overcook this? Let me know in the comments if you do. I really have not done the amount of research that I should have done before doing these, but I really wanted you to see from a novice perspective what this is like. Okay, those are hardened. That's good. So for my last time, I'm going to put them upside down and throw them in there. I think I'll do 30 seconds. All right, let's see how these demold. See if the stars look good in there. Pop right out. Oh, now the stars aren't perfectly placed, but those are cute. And here in a minute, I'll show you the difference between the way I layered this. See, this is the top side. It's a little bit lumpy, not perfectly flat and even. And so on this pair, where I put the blue in first, then I put the stars in, then the clear, you see it from the not quite flat and even side. So that's why I did it the opposite today. Now the stars are probably placed better on the other pair, but really, I like how smooth these are. I think these are adorable. So we have the last part to go, which is just the red glitter in the tops of these. All right, so let's pull over the one that I almost mixed with blue, add some red to it. And mix a mix a mix a. All right, let me look at this, see if it has enough glitter. I think I'll add just a little bit more. Now what I've noticed is, and this is the fine glitter, but it is totally encapsulated in there. You do not feel this glitter, but it makes it so pretty. All right, that's what I'm going to go with. All right, so I'm going to do 60, 60, flip it over, and do 30. All right, so I should be done with that. Once again, these just come out super easily. Now here it is from the back side. And then let me pull this one out and I'll compare. I'll show you it from the front side or the top side. Now, I don't know if the difference will show in the camera. This one's kind of lumpy. This one is perfectly smooth. So, for my earrings, I'll use the back sides. And then on these, there's the back side. There's the front side. Again, a little bit lumpy. So I think I'm learning that the back side is what I want to use for my designs. See, in the ones I made before, this was the back side, but this was the front side. Now this side, I did a better job on this one. Maybe because that's the clear resin on top. It came out a little bit more smooth. I'm not sure. Okay, so it's time to get hardware on these. Oh, I'm not done with my UV light. I need to put the backs on these. So I have these little studs and they have this flat part here. So let's bring my UV lamp back. Okay, so here's what was the downside in the mold. That's the side that's the prettiest. So I'm going to flip it over. And same thing with this one. Then I'm just going to put one drop of the UV resin on the back. Now I'm probably going to have to move these so it's not as good view in the camera, but I need to see that I get it right where I need it. Let me pick this up and look at it for just a second. Okay. Just making sure I didn't have resin on my little hole, and I don't. Now these are offset just a little bit. I want it closer to what the top of the earring will be and a little bit away from that hole. All right, stick those back in and I'll do 60 seconds. Now, just like before, I'm going to go ahead and do this for another set of 60 seconds, but I'm going to rotate those just a little bit. All right, while those are going, I can go ahead and get started on this pair. So what I'm going to use, and I know they don't really go that greatly with gold stars, but I'm going to use these silver tops. These are fish hooks that have this little clasp built into them. So you put that little clasp over the top hole and then just squeeze them together and you're done. These are super nice, super easy. And then I have 2 jump rings that I'll use to connect the tops to the bottoms. Now, I don't want to fight with this so much on camera. So I'm probably going to fast forward through most of this. But let's check and make sure those are nice and sturdy. They are, and they look great. All right, so there's my first earring. Really, really cute, despite the fact that the stars aren't perfect. Maybe that's part of the beauty of it. Perfectly imperfect. So I'll put the other 2 together and then I'll show you a picture at the end. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions for me, please feel free to put those in. Like I said earlier, I am a beginner at this resin thing, so I'll use any help I can get. Now, I'll see you on my next video, but until then, bye-bye.